Welcome back. Levi Kones is my name. I'm here with Winnie Tanui. She is an author, a coach, a trainer. We are talking about careers and life skills this morning. If you just caught us just before the break, we were asking the question, so what do you need to know
before you choose a career?
Before you choose a career. Yeah. Because you know that's a big thing, you know, especially for like high schoolers, guys who are just about to leave Form 4, people who, you know, and I say Form 4 because then you tend to choose a course that now goes with your career. Eh?
Imagine, you make a very important decision and you're just 19.
You're just 19. I always say that, it's crazy, eh?
Yeah.
And it's amazing just how many people will end up not doing what they chose.
Because life happens, one.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you're young, you are inexperienced.
Yeah.
You don't know. But anyway, it's a good place to start. Because anyway, the beauty is also when you're still young, you're very much I want to use the word undiluted. Because life has really not happened to you. You're still pure you.
You're not polluted.
Yeah, you're not polluted
by the world
around you.
Yeah.
So sometimes you are more clear thinking. So in fact, for me, every time you come to me, even if you're 40, and you're wondering, what do I do to myself? I want to ask you, what did you want to be when you were in Form 4? Before you left Form 4, what were you thinking you'd be? Because it is a better representation of who you are than any other time. Because you're still undiluted, you're still feeling you. You know, by the time really life happens to many of us, by the time you're 30s, you've lost even yourself. You've lost the voice inside you. You don't even know what you want anymore. You just want a job to feed your family. But now you lost you. So it's critical. Anyway, so it's important to, even as you are 19, just listen to you. I'm also a very big, many parents now, especially the parents, now we have another new breed of very learned parents who know where their children should go to school. Maybe that some had dreams of being lawyers and they missed, like me, I wanted to be a lawyer and I missed it by some 2 points. So it is time to tell my daughter to do law. Why? Because to fulfill you. But that is not their dream. And you see, again, their time is very different. Actually, somebody said the jobs that some people will be working from 2030 are jobs that have not even been created now.
True.
Because like 10 years ago, there was no job called YouTuber, influencer. Socialite. Because times change. And actually they say by 2020, 2030, the jobs the young people will be doing are not there. But the reason why we allow them to choose, because they are, and again you have to know, there's a force that controls life. The younger people, because they are going to face challenges for their generation, they know better. So allow them to express what they know. So as a young person, as much as you want to seek advice from your elders, there are some careers like, I remember, give an example of myself, when I was in 20 years ago, 20 something, before I joined university, there was Kenya nitwanga Telcom Kenya. I had a neighbor who used to work in Telcom Kenya. She was the only one with a telephone in my village. Of course, all of us had dreams of working in Telcom, Kenya Post and Telecommunication. Why? I'll have a telephone to my house. People who are born wire. So imagine unge choose course using the example of my neighbor. That job is no longer, she used to be a telephone operator. That is not a job that it does not even exist.
In fact, I got one of those phones, I took it to my house. It's a dummy, just as a souvenir. And my daughter was asking me, so how is this phone working? So I said, it had a wire.
So she's like, mawaya zilikuwa zinapitana wapi?
Hakuwa anashika your story.
Yes.
Like a wire, why?
Why? And going where? So how many wires? Do you do me?
I laughed because I never knew a day would come when no one would understand how that phone was working.
Imagine, and it was so prestigious. For me, it was the only, when I was in the University of Nairobi, we used to call that neighbor's house, tell mom, I'll call her in 1 hour. Akuja hapo kaya hapo. Alafu in 1 hour I'll call her.
Yeah.
That was the only means of
communication. And at that point in time, if you had told somebody that one day phones would have no wires.
Yes.
They would never have bought that story either.
They would be like, you're mad.
How is the phone going to work?
How will it work?
Without a wire.
Itafikaje. So that's what I'm saying. The beauty is with the young people because they have a different challenge and a different environment they are going to live and bring up their children. They are more in tune to what is likely to happen. So allow them to express themselves, allow them to choose these careers, because once they choose and they own, they can also change as life changes.
Yeah, so for that young person, that choice of career,
yes,
how would you guide? What can you tell them?
Critical
what do they look for?
And I want somebody to always, I think for me, the critical thing you have to always remember, a job is an opportunity to serve, to solve somebody's problem. Whose problem do you want to solve? Question number one, whose problem do you want to solve? And I think there are so many ways of even figuring out. There's even the global SDGs. They have classified world problems, I think, into some clumps, educational problems, health issues. So which one do you want to solve? If you see sick people, does it elicit something? Sympathy, empathy, do you want to help? So which problems do you want to solve? Start there. Because for me, I think when I was young, I wanted to solve women issues. Why? Empower women. So, and everybody has something. So start from there. So that now from there is, how then do I solve? Do I really want to help the sick people? Then I know my career should go towards medicine, isn't it? Do I want to bring water to my village? Am I interested in water problems? So which careers can offer me opportunity to deal with water? So let's start with there. If you start there, then you realize there are many jobs, if you look at it that way. And then it directs you to a sector. You might not get exactly what, but now it gives you a whole place. It diverts you because, of course, everything is good, but is it good for you? So do the things that that you can do from the heart of love. So a job is a place to serve and solve problems. Even ukiuza duka hapo nyumbani, why are you selling the duka? Because I want to solve, nataka could bring goods close to my neighbors. You know, that is, you're solving a problem for your neighbors. So the question is, whose problem are you solving, or whose problem do you want to solve? If you do like that, and we sit for you for 2 hours, you realize there are 1,000,001 jobs you can do, and you can even start today. So those are my clients, choosing career. And then after campus, now I have this degree. What do I do with it? And for me, if you just use the same lenses of whose problem am I solving with my degree, what is really the knowledge I've gained here? If it is an IT degree, because you learn so many things in the university, and everybody will be, you know, people learn so many things, and you learn the things that you're interested in. Because you could be in an IT class, somebody would see an opportunity, maybe I want to just be building websites. Somebody says, I want to be behind the what. So which problem do you want to solve? If you see it that way, you realize there are 1,000,001 jobs in this country. And you see, work is solve somebody's problems, then they will give you their money. Because remember, my money is for me and my family. I'll only give you my money if you're helping me to do something. I'll only come to your duka and give you money because I want sugar. It's me who needs the sugar, so I give you my money because I'm buying sugar, not I'm coming to buy, not that I like Levi so much that I'm coming to their shop, no. Or I have money to give you. No, I'll only give you my money with solving my problem.
I brought you there.
Yeah, so even a job, whose problem are you solving? So if you do that, then you realize this country, because we have many problems, there are 1,000,001 problems. Even I think the easier one even in this city is who can help the governor to solve the problem ya uchafu. I'm sure if you get a good idea and you did a degree in environment, and you can figure out how the governor can clean Nairobi, if you write a proposal, I'm sure he'll give you audience tomorrow.
No, it's very lovely to hear you say that, because I keep saying, I hope the governor is watching.
The governor
if you can just clean Nairobi.
So, and you know, no, the governor can't clean Nairobi. He needs people with ideas to take him to him. And that's how you get contracts.
We don't even need many things, just clean it first.
Yes.
Then we can think clearly.
Yes.
You
so
know.
Who is this guy who's done environment? I'm sure there are people who've done environment there, and they know. Na wanasemanga tunajua. Kama angefanya hivi, please write those proposals, take it to the governor. I'm sure he would give you audience. If you give him a clear plan of how you will clean it, utapata your contract. So that is because there are problems to resolve, and money follows problems. So in this Nairobi, if you were to have a solution for cleaning, you'll get money tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes. You'll get a job.
Yeah.
Yes.
The solution can include very hefty littering fines.
Yeah, but now, what do we do first with the ones that are there?
You know,
in the strong drains in everywhere. So he's looking for ideas. So the
that
government is
really,
just there.
that really bothers me. It really
And it
does.
is not only Nairobi, Eldoret, everywhere.
Now I can imagine. I imagine how many people it bothers, because I keep telling people, if you travel outside the country just a bit, most of the things you see outside there, you can go to a place like Rome. The buildings are very old.
But the streets are
It's just
very
clean. Even Rwanda, they're making noise that they're catching up to us. Ni wasafi tu.
It's true.
Eh?
But you see,
they're not catching up anywhere.
But you see, the beauty is people have had to walk their journeys.
Yes.
London in 1900 walikuwa na plague, rat plague. In fact, the reason why British needed to colonize people is they needed to offload some people so that they can plan London, what to do. They had issues. So even us, but you saw issues of a place can only be solved by the people who live in that place. So we want people who've done these nice degrees in environment and nini. I'm sure the governor, hata Waeldoret tukienda na proposal naye na unaweza mwambia nita clean city na hivi nje tuta clean. Anakupea tu contract. That is, you don't even need so many things. So
it solve his story.
Yeah. So tafuta shida, tafuta solution, enda naye mahali. Hakuna mtu atakufukuza.
Very well said in terms of the thing. Now, what are soft skills? We have a few minutes, but you need to tell us.
Soft skills ni kama
soft skills unaongelea.
Sasa ni maneno makubwa. So ni hizo vitu kama problem solving. One of them, that is a soft skill. Look at problem, think how to solve. Communication skills. Figure out how to communicate with people, written, verbal. And we said all these things, leadership skills.
Let's talk about written. I have to pause you there. Written communication.
Yes.
Well, we have big problems with that in terms of, you know, I'm sure you get the messages. This was
Saksa. And somebody's looking for a job and is calling you Saksa, nitafutia opportunity. Clearly.
Na actually say niaje hiyo job.
Niaje hiyo job.
You know.
Alafu swali lingine hata ni job gani unatafuta job yoyote. What exactly is job? You know, just sasa, because now when you say job yoyote, it means as the person who's helping you to look for job, aenda akae chini afikiria, akuhelp kufikiria, jaone huyu kijana, but sasa nani ako na hiyo time?
Speak to the importance of how you express yourself on paper or texts or, you know, written.
Yes.
How important is that?
It is important because it's actually the ones that closes the doors on you, on your face hivi, ambayo ikufungulie milango. If you know how to express yourself better, more doors will be open to you. If you don't know how to express yourself, written, spoken, milango zinafungwa. Unaweza kuwa na kitu lakini kwa sababu you've not known how to say it well, doors are locked. So it's important to know how to communicate, how to write yourself in official way, transact yourself during official hours. Don't call somebody at 10 o'clock asking them about internship, surely. Hiyo ni lack of respect of people's time. So many things, you know, they don't have written rules, but it's important to be able to be aware of them and stick to them. Otherwise, kumbe ni milango you think you're knocking, actually you're closing doors on yourself.
True. True. You know, I've got one college-going child, and I keep telling her, you know, express yourself well on text because you have a huge disadvantage on text already. The person you're texting can't see you. All they have is your words. You better be good.
And that boils down even to your CV.
Yeah.
Because your CV is also something you're sending. It's a text you're sending.
We
have not seen you.
Yeah.
Sasa tujui. So it's just speaking for you. So it either speaks for you or against you.
Or against you, yeah.
Yes.
So that when you appear in person, it then gives you another advantage that you're as pleasant as the person
who wrote the whatever.
Who wrote the material.
And then you have to be really pleasant. You don't just appear. You need to be. And people now will tell us, Mimi, si kuzaliwa hivyo. No, we have said all these skills are learnable. If you figure out I can't write well, take time to write well. And we have so many hours, and we have these smartphones. It is to help you learn. Really, it is not for sharing. Jokes is good. I know we like sharing jokes a lot. But really, if you're a young person, even if you're an old person, you can take time to develop yourself. Be a better you. Why? Through learning. And use this phone. Don't just use it for...
Because YouTube can teach you anything.
A lot. Anything. The era of DI.
Do it yourself. Yes.
Yeah. So you can learn. And actually you realize many people, and even those people who teach, they actually learned it. So please, we need to go to that place where we learn. So don't just appear it, but be it. Be business smart, write well, teach yourself. It's doable.
So in your training school, because you run a training school.
Yes.
How do you go about it? Are you running every year? Are you running
sessions? Yeah,
or?
we do sessions. We have something especially for people who are starting out in career, we call it self-leadership at work. So we teach all these soft skills like in a combination. We teach you self-awareness, goal setting. So we do a 2 days program. So we usually run it thrice a year. Still, there's another way of doing it, one-on-one coaching. Actually, I can coach you if you want, one-on-one. If you don't want to sit in a class or you don't have time, or even you have an interview and you're thinking, who can help me be ready for it? So I run coaching, one-on-one, Zoom, I mean really, even on Zoom, hata kama uko Eldoret, uko Kericho, just a Zoom call to us, then we'll teach you whatever because we can handhold you, we want you to be better. So those are 2 ways we do. And then of course the books. These books have all those ideas I'm sharing. So if you read them, they will help you. Yeah, so I have 3 ways of teaching: books, training, and coaching.
Where do we find your books?
For now, tricky. I have some in Eldoret, but most of it's one-on-one. I realize books is better to sell it
in person. Yeah,
in person.
It's difficult sometimes going to an India. It's difficult.
Because books is almost like selling yourself. Yeah, yes. Yeah, you have a book and you know.
I know. Yeah. I know that. I'm learning the hard way.
It is.
That you have to get out there
and push. Yeah.
Yeah.
But because these are important information, so if you, on our social page, especially we are very active on Facebook, Lengo Africa. Lengo hii malengo ya Kiswahili, Lengo Africa training and coaching on Facebook, on Instagram. If you DM us there, we'll be very quick to answer, especially career questions, really. We're really willing to help. So you can book us for a coaching session. We can schedule you for our next training, which is starting in January. And you can call us to speak even to your students, yeah, or members of your church. Yeah.
What do you say to those guys, companies who say, we expect, watoto wanataka na wajue tabia mzuri.
Shida ni lazima.
It's supposed to be normal.
How? You have to learn. You have to learn.
Yeah.
They have to, because everything we said, even walking, you had to learn. Speaking, somebody had to take time to teach you. Okay, that time you're just learning through observation. But at this point, when we are adults, you have to be deliberate about learning. So even in organizations, we do soft skills for organizations. End of year parties, we can come and speak for 1 hour on importance of just personal development, how to build a better team, all those things just to help people be better. Yeah.
What do you think the damage has been to those organizations that don't, have this
training.
At heart?
Yeah, because people say training is expensive. And somebody said, what if I train and they leave? The question is, what if you don't train and they don't leave? So it's a cost to you. You train them to be better. You earn the results. So it's soft. You cannot say what, but there's an advantage of training people. Knowledge, they say, is power. Just like Cass FM says, what?
Yeah.
Kimnatet, Yes.
There's that thing I always think when I call, like, for example, a telecommunications company or maybe a company that I get a receptionist. That receptionist at that point in time has got the power to make me stay or leave that service altogether.
It's true. So they are the brand ambassadors.
Now, I have not met the director, I've not met, they could be very good people, and they could be speaking very well. But at this point in time, the person you're speaking to on that soft skills, anaweza kuambia kitu,
you just go to the competitor.
Yes.
Straight away.
Hata kwa hoteli saa zingine unaingia na just reception
inakuput off. Yeah, because people, when you bring people there, they are your ambassadors, whether you like it or not. So it's important to train them to represent what you think the company should be. That's the reason why people need to be trained. Yeah.
And the opposite is true. People also come because of how they were treated.
And I think it's Maya Angelou said, people will forget everything, but they will never forget what you made them feel.
Yes.
If somebody made you feel bad, in fact, all the things you remember is just the way people made you feel.
You brand a whole organization.
Yes, because they made you feel bad. Yeah, so that's why it's important to train. And I think it's critical to train.
It's critical to train, especially now with as we get modernized.
And global. And you see, we have to know that we are going away from our villages. We are getting global. Your clients might not be just local. We are going global. Even our young people are going abroad. We need to prepare them Soft skills is a way of telling them what to expect out there.
True. Even we are selling on YouTube, we're selling on Facebook, we're selling to people who are not here.
Who are not here, yeah. So we have to be as competitive as what the world is. There's no excuse of saying sisi ni wale. No, the world expects you to be up to your game. And I think the best way is training. And the other thing is reading. Please, guys, as much as we want the money from books so that people can buy our books, but reading is a critical thing you need to include in your daily. Make sure you read a book in a month, kitu kaa hiyo. At least soma vitabu hata 2 kwa mwaka. It helps you. It builds you up. You get new knowledge. Unaongeza na yako inakuwa better. Yeah.
Improves language.
Improves language also, yeah.
You know what I say? Serious things are in the paper.
Yes.
If they are auctioning someone, iko gazeti.
Kama haiko kwa gazeti, it's not that important.
It's not that important. That's why when we appoint someone, we say we have said put them in the Kenya Gazette. After the president, for you to be appointed, it must appear
somewhere, yeah. Otherwise,
in written form.
That's true. Yeah.
It's not enough to announce it on TV.
What
would be your final thought to those people watching you this morning and just hearing what you have to say? What do you have to tell them? Speak there.
So for me, I would want to say it's possible to improve yourself through reading, learning. Learning is key. Let not the last time you learned something was in high school or university. You can learn anything. And because you can learn, you can improve and you can achieve the goals that you set for yourself. It's possible. It's doable. And you can do it.
Thank you. Thank you for coming, Winnie.
Yes, asante.
Winnie Tanui is the author of the books Dare Be You and Uncaged. You can find them by checking out on social media. You said
Lengo Africa.
Lengo Africa.
Training and coaching.
Training and coaching.
Our page too.
Lengo Africa Training and Coaching. And after Facebook, after write a message there. They will reply, I'm pretty sure, pretty soon.
Yes.
And you can be able to get in touch with them and get training.
Thank you.
And there's never an end to learning, is there?
No, there's never.
Yeah. We are learning until we die.
If you stop learning, you've stopped living.
You've stopped living, true. Yeah. God bless you. That's what we have for this morning. Stay tuned for Ilosu coming up shortly. Good day.